Go on the way! Welcome to another episode of my VFL Amiens series, getting right into the Saturday fixtures, as I did unfortunately have a big issue with my Xbox basically on the Friday fixtures. So we did lose that one 2-0 unfortunately, so I have to try to bounce back here. Fawn in net, Dishard left back, Foster Rainey center back, Diego right back. Basically myself and Fado as a CDMs with Pogba left mid and Cuddy playing right mid, as he kind of arrived late and just came into play and said, oh, we'll stick him out wide. Unfortunately, Tyler cannot make this one, so Retro, one of our new signings, is going to be playing up top along with Flick. So we'll see how this team does. Obviously, quite a different type of team. We basically have 5 guys who are mostly defenders in the squad, and we kind of had to implement them because obviously we cannot use a 5-man backline, that's against rules. So fortunately that was out of the picture, but either way they did kind of start out pretty good here, getting over the top of us. So I have to be careful of those wings. We definitely are very vulnerable down them, which you'll see at some points here. Gotta just defend those wings a lot better. As you can see, just definitely use that LTA if you guys, and because you see that's a really good back post cross. Thankfully Fawn was there to save it, but that could have been a lot worse than it came out to be basically. But get some good build up play here. Retro and Flick really linking up very nicely. Unfortunately could not get that one, but it would have been a good A pass in right there to be able to keep on going. But you can see I like this back line right here, keeping the shape. When we are in possession, we really need to be pushing up to the line. As sometimes we can really drop too deep. Sometimes you see a great pass here, Flick into Retro, and they connect for a goal here. So a great way to see this new little striker partnership linking up here, being able to grab a goal early on. That's some beautiful play. As we move on, try to grab some more goals here. You see Pogba turning, doing a good pass here to Retro, try to turn again, now takes the shot. Could have maybe actually played Jordan right there, because he was still played on by the right back also. We got to keep those 8 passes around the box and in the box in mind. And so they unfortunately go through here, but Fawn with a great save, as we also have quite a few guys back. And unfortunately, the guy really only had the option going short post, and Fawn does a good job covering it. There's Retro does some good work here down this wing, trying to get down it, play a little ball in, just avoids Flick. Unfortunately, has Angry Farmer, I guess, possibly related to Fawn, is their goalkeeper. Actually, some good work here. Just got to maybe play that a little bit earlier, or continue to go down that wing, because they completely gave Retro that touch line right there. I see, unfortunately, Pogba loses the ball and does something very stupid, and it's going to go straight through the back of them. And that is a straight red. So he's going to miss the next game of this episode and the first game of the next episode, first game on Sunday. So that's a bit unfortunate, but we just can't be doing that. We cannot be doing that at all. I do also think we really need to start pushing up on free kicks such as this. So hopefully we can start trying to implement those changes. Just a higher line in general can really be helpful in my opinion. But we put this ball over here. Some good work trying to connect as I'm pushing forward. Play this ball over the top. Great job from Retro to stay on side. Good, very smart run from him there as he cuts back in. Great little work, and he ends up playing a ball. Unfortunately, Flick hits it right at the keeper, as it would have been a great chance to go up 2-0 right before the half. So some good work from Retro. A great run from Flick, who unfortunately could not put in the ball in the back of the net. As he tried to push for another here, Retro again cutting back in, playing the ball perfectly to Flick, and that's going to be in the back of the net for a second goal. So great work from them again, linking up there in this game, and their first time really playing together as a striker partnership and doing some great work there to put ourselves up 2-0. But we definitely had some chances to continue to go forward in this game and grab a few more goals, as you've seen some of these highlights coming out. But the build-up play was very strong. You can see right here the build-up play was solid. Cuddy not really used to playing out wide, too much, but a great ball in from Dishard, making that overlapping run. Fortunately, Retro could not get to that, so some good work. As you can see, Friolito coming in the party, kind of foreshadowing the fact that he has to play basically in place of Jordan. That ball needed to be coming in a little bit quicker, but unfortunately he was being kind of tugged at a bit, was Retro, so that does kind of put off the pass certainly. But I see them trying to get forward again, winning that ball right here and playing the ball back up. 86 minutes, so still would like to maybe grab another to increase that goal differential. A great ball here, Flick to Retro, continue to push on. Unfortunately cannot get that pass off. A sweat would have probably been perfect there, as that was not covered really at all. As I can see actually me getting a message from the Lord. I should probably turn off the messages, but yeah, I'll make sure to do that. But one more chance there to continue to go up. Just need a sweat again to Cuddy, who's out there wide. But a goal and assist both from Flick and Retro, so that's a great way for a striker partnership to help create for us. Obviously had to do that, especially once Pogba got sent off. But 3 key passes from Flick, 2 from Retro, 2 passing points from myself, Diego, Fado, Cuddy. one from Dishard, Randy, Retro, Pogba, and Flick. So I basically had to choose a man of the match between Flick and Retro. The key pass was basically the tiebreaker, as he will get the man of the match for that, because basically it could have been 2 goals for Flick and 2 assists for Retro also, so it's been tough to tie-break that in the end also. But 6 interceptions here with Foster, 2 with Randy, Dishard, fatal, 1 from Diego and Cuddy, 4 tackles from myself, a fatal, 3 from Cuddy, and 1 from Foster, Diego, and Pogba. Clean sheets, obviously love to see that. Fawn had to make a few saves, some really key ones, obviously not too many saves he had to make, but there's that back post header that he did a great job of covering, and also that one little kind of time where they were a little through, and he did a good job covering that short post. So we did have to make that change in. Friolito coming in for the suspended Pogba, out for 2 games, unfortunately. Pretty big game tomorrow he's going to be missing as well, is quite unfortunate to see, but we're going to try to push on without him. But you can see they really did a good job pressuring us, losing the ball right there. Just have to get that out. But Sinister, their striker, just absolutely made us look silly right there. We were all chasing the ball. Fawn thankfully gets a paw on that, and Dishard does a good job clearing that. But not the best start to this game. As you can see, we were just dropping a little bit too deep in defense as well, in my opinion. Just inviting way too much pressure. We got to push that lineup a lot more, like I've said plenty of times, and unfortunately, their Eni did a great job right there of making Diego look silly. You got to defend down those wings a lot better than that. But we're going to try to come back here, maybe push for a goal. You see Retro here playing the ball over the top. Maybe a just ground pass probably would have done a lot better ground through ball. You see Retro now trying to turn here, take an effort on goal, and does force a save though early on. Their goalkeeper, you'll see, was amazing. Now we're gonna come back here. The build-up play was strong. I thought we did a great job building up. You'll see throughout this. I do think I did push up a little bit too high along in fatal, which certainly could have hurt us at times. And unfortunately, Dishard tries to play that through. Probably should have tried to go out wide to Cuddy, who was right there. I do run back here, but I think, we did end up dropping a little bit too deep and just not enough pressure on the ball. As you can see them splitting that defense. Sinister coming through. Not the best defense we had right there, and the midfield shape was pretty awful as well, as they go up 1-0, and they really did a good job putting pressure on us, but we still had plenty of chances, just missing that timed run, just missing timing that perfectly, unfortunately, as they do continue on to hold that lead now. 34th minute it is now, trying to push forward again. Retro back out on this wing, playing the ball back in a Friolito. A very nice pass out on the wing to Flick. Is going to try to do some of the LTRT action you'll see here. Great work from him, trying to play the ball back in. Unfortunately, just missing Retro right there. It would have been perfect to have been able to get to him. As you see, who was it? Friolito. Yes, that man, wonderful man, did a good job getting the interceptions. This time, you got to play that forward though, rather than out wide. Sometimes he really forced the wing play when it was not really there. They were giving us the wing a lot, so I think that's why we thought just go out to that wing and would dominate them. Because that happened in the first game also, but still did need to do a lot better. As Flick tries to take the effort on goal, was tugged quite a bit. I was hoping it would have been able to get that off to maybe play through Retro through, but I know he was getting tugged quite ferociously. No foul is very surprising, but this game is like that sometimes. As we're moving on to the second half, playing the ball here, a little flick on from Retro to Flick. It's going to go here to Friolito. Unfortunately, heads that wide. I'm not sure if he was able to get complete contact on it. It would have been a very fluky goal, however you pronounce it, whatever it's called. But would have loved to see it happen nonetheless, as we're trying to put some pressure on them, win this ball back. You see that quick turn, runs right into me. I play the ball to Retro. He's going to turn here, take an effort on goal. Unfortunately, goes over the bar, as I think we do have to kind of help show short for some of our players sometimes, and also look for those 8 passes again. Can be some of the issues for us around the box. I think once we go down at times and we can't find some things, creatively, we just go to long shots and over the top through balls and stuff like that. So it's something I've noticed, throughout some games at times, when we are struggling to, get that goal. Even if the build-up is good, like in some of these situations right here, you can see very good build-up, winning the ball, circulating possession. Cuddy doing a very good job playing this left mid-roll. Love to see the way he was playing here, as I tell Friolito, make that run over the top, play it over here to him. Friolito puts his ball in, a great cross, that save though. Retro wins the header. The goalkeeper does a great job pairing that out for a wonderful save. He's done a great job so far in this match. You definitely see him step it up, as again, the build-up is there. We're completely dominating the game for the most part. That little pass though is unfortunate. Again, we're trying to force the wings too much at times. Something you got to change here, as Retro plays a very good ball now to Friolito, who tries to come through here, being tugged around, plays this ball, a very good idea, and Retro nearly gets to it. A good idea from him there, as unfortunately the touch screws me over now as we're trying to get the ball back forward. And unfortunately, again, another player sent off. He'll just be missing the first game tomorrow. It's only one game for 2 yellows. It's 2 games for a complete red. So there we did have the A passes, 2 A passes, unfortunately, that we did ignore. Instead, we went for that cross. So I think we gotta again look for those passes around the box and try to change that. I think we will be perfect going forward in the attack. As you can see, Rainey doing a good job, keeping that line. Again, we pushed up high up later in the game when we should have been pushing the line up, a little bit higher up, I think, early on. So you can see Fawn doing a good job keeping us in this, keeping it 1-0. Great save from him, great reactions. I see us now pushing forward. I do some of that LT-RT action. See, they end up sliding right here, trying to play the ball through. Maybe could have even carried a little bit more, as Friolito unfortunately cannot get that shot off. He gets that shot off that probably, is a shot on target or possibly even a goal. As you can see again here, playing the ball back into Retro, taking the effort. If he would have played Friolito through, that would have actually been perfect. Unfortunately, he went for that shot quickly. As we continue on and try to grab that equalizer. 89th minutes. Retro with the ball right here, playing the ball back into Diego, who's going to play this ball through perfectly to Cuddy. He's going to put this cross in. Retro unfortunately cannot get the shot by the goalkeeper. That's a huge save by him. He had to chest it. The header would have been perfect and probably would have been the back of the net, but he had to chest it, and that was not ideal, as unfortunately we had to rely on this little long throw right here. It's going to be flicked back to Cuddy. He's going to take the effort. Unfortunately, again, a huge save from their goalkeeper, as we are testing him so much, trying to get this draw. As we now go to the tactic here, Flick putting this ball in, and Dishart, great header, the save again from their goalkeeper, and it was a very frustrating game live, if I'm being completely honest. So you can imagine again the cross in, their goalkeeper again does a good job saving that. Maybe could have flicked it back in the middle or something instead to try to beat that keeper, because that keeper was incredible, to be honest. As you see, the key passes, 2 from Friolito, 1 from Flick, Cuddy, and Retro. 2 passing points for myself, Flick, Friolito, Cuddy, Foster, Retro, Diego. So the passing was good. 1 from Fado also. The passing was really good from the whole team basically. So that's just unfortunate that we cannot, get that one ball in the back then to at least get the draw. We could have certainly won as well. 3 interceptions from Fatal, 2 from myself, 1 from Foster, Diego, Dishart, and Friolito. Tackles, 4 for Fatal, 1 for myself, Cuddy, Diego, and Friolito as well. I just did decide to give the man of the match as well to Friolito, as you will see here now. So did think he had a really good, well-rounded game. He deserved a man of the match, definitely, for just in general how he's been so far. Fawn had some really big saves also, some really big saves that kept us in that game to help us push forward to try to grab that equalizer. Unfortunately, that equalizer never came, but we just got to try to get things back together and focus on the next games. I think there's a lot of things we can improve on, and I think there's a lot of things that we can be happy with. The build-up play was tremendous for the most part in those 2 games. The final ball can use some work, maybe just looking for that final pass, being a bit more patient with the passes when we get around that box and in that box. But other than the build-up, getting up to the that final third was perfect. Just sometimes that final pass was not there, and we kind of relied a little bit on some desperation stuff, long shots, sometimes over the top through balls and stuff we kind of do when we do get desperate, looking for a goal when it's not coming yet. So we got to just be patient. Unfortunately, it did not work out that game, but it would certainly help us out in the upcoming games. Playing the way we did, we will certainly have a very strong finish this season, guys. With that, thank you for tuning in. I love you. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.